Climate Summit strengthened Africa's position on global emission reduction, adaptation, and resilience. SCS and COP28 highlighted Africa's opportunities and solutions in climate action. It showcased Africa's arable land. We have a lot of land for agriculture, and it also highlighted green critical minerals and the potential for renewable energy in Africa. So one of the most significant outcomes was that it was acknowledged that fossil fuels are the root cause of climate change, and we agreed on their phase down. My name is Nthanda Manduwi. I'm the founder and CEO of the Ntha Foundation and the BN Corporation Africa, and I'm an Africa Climate Ambassador 2024. I became an ACAP ambassador in 2024 because I wanted to advocate for climate change, particularly for Africa, seeing the impacts that climate change is having in Africa and knowing the platform I have and the impact and the community that I have. I wanted to use my voice, to lend my voice to advocacy on climate change. So the Africa Climate Summit aimed to broaden climate action beyond the traditional United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Conference of Parties, COP frameworks. It focused on engaging non-state actors for proactive climate solutions, and it emphasized African perspectives on climate change and action. It was initially planned for 2020, but it was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And of course, it was announced by President Ruto at the United Nations Framework Convention on COPs in 2022. So it showcased Africa's opportunities and solutions to combating climate change. COP, the last one being COP28. COP stands for the Conference of Parties. It involves state parties for multilateral environmental agreements, commonly known as MEAS, like CBD, the UNCCD, and the UNFCCC. So COPs review progress and commitments on these agreements, and the UNFCCC COP focused on climate change, which happens annually. The first COP initiated global climate negotiations, with the COP28 held in the United Arab Emirates last year, and COP29 will be held in 2024 in Baku, Azerbaijan. So the Africa Climate Summit strengthened Africa's position on global emission reduction, adaptation, and resilience. It emphasized fair, equitable, and inclusive low-carbon development, and it encouraged implementation of national determined contributions and AU climate change strategies. It also fostered new partnerships and climate investment, and it attracted financing and pledges to support Africa's climate agenda. So one of the most significant outcomes was that it was acknowledged that fossil fuels are the root cause of climate change, and we agreed on their phase down. The second one was we pledged $792 million to the Loss and Damage Fund, which signals progress despite the shortfall. SCS and COP28 highlighted Africa's opportunities and solutions in climate action. It showcased Africa's arable land. We have a lot of land for agriculture, and it also highlighted green critical minerals and the potential for renewable energy in Africa. It promoted value addition of green minerals and carbon sinks, and it created partnerships and pledges for new beginnings in climate action. It also focused on climate finance, adaptation, and operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund. It's a valuable statement, I think. Africa has significant resources for low-carbon development. There is a need for timely and scaled finance and technology to address challenges and opportunities they are present, and we need to properly tap into renewable energy and the arable land we have and the carbon sinks I've mentioned to aid global low-carbon efforts. This is very significant to me. It's a significant step in integrating culture and heritage in the climate agenda. And the declaration emphasizes the importance of culture and heritage and the arts and the creative industries in achieving climate goals. There's a lot that needs to be done, and there's a lot already being done that can be scaled. We need to focus on the cultural dimensions of climate change causes, and there is need for special attention to the needs of women, youth, indigenous people, and local communities. We also need context-appropriate support for these groups, which will aid in green transformation. There are so many creatives in Africa with so many different kinds of talents. And when we speak of advocacy, we need to be able to incorporate creativity and innovation in this space. There is so much that people can contribute to, from advocacy, from bringing awareness to so many issues. So there is so many ways in which creatives can be engaged, and the creative economy can ideally be engaged in contributing to the fight against climate change. So in light of climate change, to African youth, I usually say, we are the youth and we are the future of this. If something happens to Africa, to the world at large, we are the ones that are going to face the challenges and the results of whatever happens here. So we need to be involved. It's our fight. We are the biggest beneficiaries here, and we need to be involved and to use our voices in this. To our leaders, you're the ones making policies that are going to affect our futures. And the fight against climate change affects, yes, you in the moment, but also our futures. And there's a lot of responsibility that should be there to make sure that the fight against climate change is successful so our futures are secured.